The light of guidance, 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 the light of guidance. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen amma ba'd fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is very beautifully reported to have said, the one who recites durood, salutation, salawat, salam 1,000 times upon me daily, the person will not die until he sees his place in Jannah. Subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, salatu wa salaman alayka. Ya Sayyidi, Ya Habibi, Ya Rasulullah, sallallahu ala Muhammad, nurin min nurillah. Marhaba, Khushamdeed, welcome to one and all to another beautiful, exciting and lovely episode of this wonderful series known as The Light of Guidance, Noor Hidayat, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. And undoubtedly we all know this light of guidance refers to the beautiful and wonderful religion of Islam, the religion of peace, the religion of harmony, the religion which teaches us how to respect our elders, our beloveds, our parents, our siblings, our neighbors. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. So such a beautiful deen, and undoubtedly the person who follows the teachings of this beautiful deen of Islam, he is on the straight path. And contrary to this, the person who turns away from this beautiful deen of Islam, he has turned away from the light of guidance, and unfortunately he will end up being misguided and he will end up on the wrong path. We make dua, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us all firm on the true teachings of Islam and the beautiful, wonderful teachings of Islam. Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah, for all those that have been watching us in the past few episodes, we do know that in this beautiful episode and series we do discuss some important topics which are very relevant and which need to be discussed, especially in today's times. Inshallah, today we will be discussing this beautiful personality, and we will be discussing the saintly miracles of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah. So it is a very beautiful topic, something exciting which we are going to listen to today. Please be with us from beginning to end, and try your level best, inshallah, to listen to the entire discussion. And inshallah, whatever we learn, subhanallah, it will be, very faith refreshing, inshallah. Let's make good intentions. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned, Niyatul mu'mini khayru min amalihi. The intention of a believer is better than his action. The more good intentions you make, the more reward you will attain from the exalted court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's be good intentions, inshallah. When I hear the blessed name of Allah, I will glorify and praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I hear the blessed names of the blessed name of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I will recite durood, salutations, salawat and salam upon Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When I hear the blessed name of the Sahaba Ikram, I will say radiyallahu ta'ala anhu or radiyallahu ta'ala anha. And inshallah, 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 whatever I learn today, first and foremost, inshallah, I will try and pass the message on to others as well. And inshallah, inshallah, I will first and foremost try to act upon it myself and then pass the message on, because indeed every person is a muballigh, a preacher on behalf of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. As very beautifully it is mentioned that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has stated, Ballighu anni walau ayah, convey on my behalf, pass on my behalf, even if it is a single ayah. Subhanallah. So this is the hukum and the command from the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as Muslims, it is our duty to take these beautiful words of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and make that our motto in life, our aim in life. And every person is a muballigh, a preacher. So it is your duty to pass the message of Allah and His beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam to the entire ummah and to the entire nation. Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah kareem. Subhanallah, subhanallah. So with this aim in mind, let's make intention, whatever I learn, I will inshallah pass the message on.
to others as well. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. Subhanallah. For those that watch our silsila, you do know that in the beginning of the episode, we do ask a question to all our viewers and listeners. And inshallah, at the end of the episode, we will share the answer with everyone. Subhanallah. So today's question, Allah, 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 which is the longest surah in the Holy Quran? Which is the longest surah in the Holy Quran? I feel personally it is a very simple question, a very easy question. Generally, people will have the knowledge about this question, but unfortunately, if there is anyone who doesn't know which is the longest surah in the Holy Quran, then nobody should think that only if I'm a Hafiz, then I need to know about the Holy Quran. Only if I'm a Mulana, then I need to have knowledge about the Holy Quran. Only if I'm a Mufti, then I need to have knowledge of the Holy Quran. No! Every believer, every Muslim, every mu'min needs to have the knowledge about the Holy Quran. First of all, you need to know how to recite the Holy Quran. You need to make sure your makharij, the proper articulation of every letter should be perfect. You should know where the kha should be pronounced. You should know where the ain should be pronounced. You should know where the ha and the ha is pronounced. You should know the difference. You should know from alif, ba, ta until ya, all the Arabic letters, and then joining the words, how to pronounce the words, how to read the words, what is mad, what is ghunna, what is idgham, what is ikhfa, what is iqlab. These laws which are pertaining to tajweed, which are related to the recitation of the Holy Quran. This is necessary for us to know. You will say, why is it necessary? So I will say, because you are going to perform salah, and salah is fard upon every individual, whether you are a male, whether you are a female, whether you are still young, whether you have grown older, whether you have children, whether you don't have children, whether you are married, whether you are not married. In every case, salah is fard upon you, whether you are sick, whether you're not sick, whether you're traveling, whether you're not traveling. Salah is fard. And for your salah to be correct, for your salah to be perfect, one of the the faraid, one of the compulsory things, the compulsory acts in salah is your qiraat. So if your qiraat is not correct, then how are you going to perform salah? It's not possible to perform the salah in this state here. Well, because in salah, what do? You recite Surah Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Then you recite a surah. Then you go in ruku, in sajda, in tashahud position. You recite at-tahiyyatu, you recite Durood Ibrahim, you recite your dua Masura. So all of this, if you do not know how to pronounce the words, and you end up mixing, you end up changing, you end up doing all sorts of wrong things, then how is your salah going to be correct? So if you do not have the knowledge of the Holy Quran, you don't know how to recite the Holy Quran, you don't know how to do tilawat of the Holy Quran, then how are you going to perform your salah? And if you can't perform your salah, then how are you fulfilling the fard which is on your shoulders and on your head? That's why it is very, 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 very important for every person to make sure your Quran is right, your recitation is right, your tajweed is right, and the way you are pronouncing the words is also perfect. Subhanallah. And Dawat Islam is offering you these opportunities that, come, learn. There is Madrasatul Madina, there are Jamiatul Madina. You can come to the masjid, you can come to the madrasa. If you are working, do online, Fizan Online Academy. Online you can learn how to recite the Holy Quran, rectify yourself, improve your tajweed, make sure your tajweed is right, make sure your makharij is right, make sure your articulation of the words is perfect, make sure you are reciting the Holy Quran properly. So nobody should think that recitation of the Holy Quran, knowledge of the Holy Quran, this is only for Hufaz, for Maulana Sahab, for Mufti Sahab. No, every person needs to have this knowledge. That's number one. Number two, the knowledge of the Holy Quran. General knowledge of the Holy Quran, like which is the longest surah in the Holy Quran, which is the shortest surah in the Holy Quran, what is a surah, what is an ayat, what is a ruku. Yeah, so all these things you need to know about the Holy Quran. These are normal knowledge. Which prophet is discussed in the Holy Quran, which prophet is discussed the most in the Holy Quran. The beautiful names of the prophets which are mentioned in the Holy Quran, which Sahabi's name is mentioned in the Holy Quran. Yes, there is a certain Sahabi of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam whose name is mentioned in the Holy Quran. So likewise, there are so much things which you need to know, about the Holy Quran. It's your book, Subhanallah. It's the book of guidance. It's Kitabul Mubin, the clear and explicit and open book. So you need to learn. You need to recite it. You need to, know about it. You need to have the knowledge about it. You need to have the proper understanding about it. It's your book. This is your deen. You are a Muslim. You are a believer. You need to have the understanding of the deen. You need to have the understanding of the Holy Quran, the book which was revealed upon the beloved and most noble Rasul Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. So today's question, that which is the longest surah in the Holy Quran? Yes, it is a general question. Right? And I feel that many of us will know the answer. But for those that don't know the answer, I mean, don't just stop on this question. Do more research. Learn more about the Holy Quran. Inshallah Azza wa Jal, you will see the benefits in this world, and obviously you will see the benefit in the year after as well. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Before we begin with the discussion for today, we'll take a short break, inshallah, and listen to a beautiful kalam, some beautiful, praises in the court of Sultanul Awliya, Sayyidina Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And inshallah Azza wa Jal, when we return from this beautiful kalam, we will be discussing our topic for today, which is the saintly miracles of Huzur Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. After this beautiful kalam, Sallu al Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
شاہ جیلاں غوث پاک پیر پیرا غوث پاک میر میرا غوث پاک غوث پاک جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک ہے پیر پیرا ہے میر میرا محبوب سبحان ولیوں کے سلطان محبوب یزدان سلطان ذیشان مشکل ہو آسان غوث پاک جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک میں تیرا ادنا بھکاری تو میرا سلطان ہے میں تیرا ادنا بھکاری تو میرا سلطان ہے قسم حق کی یہ میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک ہے قسم حق کی یہ میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک آپ کی چشم کرم کا ایک اشارہ ہو اگر آپ کی چشم کرم کا ایک اشارہ ہو اگر دو جگہ کی مشکلیں ہو جائیں آسان غوث پاک دو جگہ کی مشکلیں ہو جائیں آسان غوث پاک جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک ناز قسمت پہ کروں پاؤں جہاں کی سروری ناز قسمت پہ کروں پاؤں جہاں کی سروری تیری چوکھٹ کا اگر بن جاؤں درباں غوث پاک تیری چوکھٹ کا اگر بن جاؤں درباں غوث پاک جان دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک
ہے پیرے پیرا ہے میرے میرا محبوب سبحان ولیوں کے سلطان محبوب یزدان سلطان ذیشان مشکل ہو آسان غوث پاک
جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک
میری آنکھیں تیرا گنبد تیری چوکھٹ میرا سر میری آنکھیں تیرا گنبد تیری چوکھٹ میرا سر میرا لاشا اور ہو تیرا بیاباں غوث پاک میرا لاشا اور ہو تیرا بیاباں غوث پاک
جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک
بھیجا تو نے ہی معین الدین چشتی کو یہاں بھیجا تو نے ہی معین الدین چشتی کو یہاں ہند میں تیرے سبب سے ہے مسلمان غوث پاک ہند میں تیرے سبب سے ہے مسلمان غوث پاک
جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک
کیجئے امداد عزت دو جگہ میں دیجئے کیجئے امداد عزت دو جگہ میں دیجئے ہے جمیل قادری ادنا ثنا خواں غوث پاک ہے جمیل قادری ادنا ثنا خواں غوث پاک
جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک 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 غوث پاک
غوث پاک
جان و دل سے تم پہ میری جان قربان غوث پاک ہے سلامت تم سے میرا دین و ایمان غوث پاک
صلو علی الحبیب صلی اللہ تعالی علی محمد صلی اللہ تعالی علیہ وسلم صلاۃ و سلام علیک یا سیدی یا حبیبی یا رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علی محمد نور من نور اللہ. MashaAllah, the praises of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, our Murshid, our Shaykh, our Sayyid, our Master, our Leader. Subhanallah, so much. How beautiful Ala Hazrat says that, واہ کیا مرتبہ ہے غوث ہے بالا تیرا. He shows his astonishment, his wonder, and he says, واہ کیا مرتبہ ہے غوث ہے بالا تیرا. Oh my غوث Azam, oh Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu ta'ala anhu, what a high rank, what a beautiful and excellent status and martaba you have. واہ کیا مرتبہ ہے غوث ہے بالا تیرا, اونچے اونچوں کے سروں سے قدم آلا تیرا. Says, oh Ghaus Azam, your Mubarak and blessed feet, your respected and honored and blessed feet, is above the heads of great personalities and great awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ऊंचों के सरों से कदम आला तेरा, सुबहानल्लाह, सर भला क्या कोई जाने के है कैसा तेरा, औलिया मलते हैं आंखें वो है तलवा तेरा, सुबहानल्लाह. This is Ghaus Azam. You know, how will anyone know the martaba and the status of your Mubarak and blessed face and your head and your forehead? I mean, that's on a high level. He says, awliya malte hai aankhein wo hai talwa tera. That the awliya kiram, they rub their eyes, and that is the soles of your feet. Oh, Ghaus Azam, subhanallah, subhanallah. This is the way Ala Hazrat very beautifully expresses his love in the court of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And then very beautifully, and he says, subhanallah, tu Husaini Hasani kyu na Muhyiddin ho, eh Khizar majma' bahrain hai chashma tera. Then he says, qasme de ke khilata hai pilata hai tujhe, प्यारा अल्लाह तेरा चाहने वाला तेरा. Subhanallah, very beautifully he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and before we understand this, we must know that Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala himself mentioned, this is mentioned in books as well, authentic books, that he's mentioned that when he used to go for these mujahidat, in the jungles and away from everyone, in seclusion, just to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in those states, there would be sometimes where he didn't have anything to eat, anything to drink, and days would pass without eating or drinking anything. They say at that time I would hear the voice, Allah, 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 that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam a qasam that Ghaus Azam should eat and he should drink. Subhanallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam so much, subhanallah. So based on that, Ala Hazrat is saying, qasme de ke खिलाता है पिलाता है तुझे, प्यारा अल्लाह तेरा चाहने वाला तेरा. Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Then he says, मुस्तफ़ा के तने बेसाया का साया देखा, जिसने देखा मेरी जान जलवाए ज़ेबा तेरा. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Then he says, क्यों ना कासिम हो कि तू इब्ने अबिल कासिम है, क्यों ना कादिर हो कि मुख्तार है बाबा तेरा. Subhanallah. He says, why you won't be Qasim? And Qasim is the one who distributes. Subhanallah. So he says, oh Ghaus Azam, you are distributor. Indeed, you give the bounties also. You distribute the bounties. Why? क्यों ना कासिम हो के तू इब्ने अबिल कासिम है, that you are the son of Abul Qasim. And Abul Qasim is one of the beautiful titles of Huzur, you can say the appellations, the kunyat of Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Ala Hazrat is saying, oh Ghaus Azam, why you are not Qasim? Why won't you be Qasim? Definitely you are Qasim. Why? Because to Ibn Abil Qasim, because you are the son of Abul Qasim, means you are the son of Huzur Aqdas sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And kyun na qadir ho ke mukhtar hai baba tera. And oh Ghaus Azam, why won't you be qadir? Means the one who has authority. Why won't you have authority? Definitely you will have authority. Mukhtar hai baba tera, because your beloved father, means our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is mukhtar. He has the ability, he has ikhtiyar, and he has the authority in the entire creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when your father, your beloved father, means our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has authority and you are his blessed son, subhanallah, so definitely क्यों ना कादिर हो के मुख्तार है बाबा तेरा. If he, my Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is mukhtar, then definitely you also have ability, you also have power, because undoubtedly whatever you have received, it is from the august court of Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. Subhanallah. That's very beautifully somebody has mentioned, and Huzur Qibla Tajush Sharia, Mufti Akhtar Raza Khan, very beautifully, alayhi rahmatur rahman, rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, very beautifully he mentioned, and he says, जहाँ बानी अता कर दे भरी जन्नत हिबा कर दे, नबी मुख्तार कुल है जिसको जो चाहे अता कर दे. Subhanallah. So if my Nabi is mukhtar kul, he has ikhtiyar in everything in the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then definitely Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam is qadir, and he also has authority. Subhanallah. And then very beautifully Allah Hazrat says, Nabawi mih alawi fasl batuli gulshan. Allah, Allah, Allah. Mih means rain. He says, Nabawi mih, this beautiful, rain from the beautiful, garden of Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Alawi fasl And this beautiful field is, subhanAllah, he is relating to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, subhanAllah, Batuli Gulshan, and this entire, garden of flowers is relating it to Sayyidina Fatima to Zahra radiallahu ta'ala anha. Hassani Phool Hussaini hai mehkna tera. Subhan, the flower is Sayyidina Hassan radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and your fragrance is the fragrance of Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Hassani Phool Hussaini hai mehkna tera. In other words, it is as if Sayyidina Ala Hazrat is saying that Subhanallah Ghaus Azam, you have the beautiful Nazar Karam of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have the inayat of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, you have the Karam of Sayyidah Fatima to Zahra radiallahu ta'ala anha, you have the beautiful, saya and the beautiful fragrance of Sayyidina Imam Hassan, Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah, subhanallah. So how beautiful your personality is. Hassani Phool Hussaini hai mehkna tera. Allah, 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 subhanallah. And then very beautifully and very, what was out of love, out of muhabbat, very beautifully. And he says, tujhse dar se sag, aur sag se hai mujhko nisbat, meri gardan mein bhi hai dur ka dora tera. He says, O Ghaus Azam, I cannot link myself directly to you. You are so great, you are so, high, your maqam is so high. But he says, O Ghaus Azam, via chains, via wasilas, via means and mediums, somewhere I am linked towards you. He says, very far in my neck, I have that chain. Meri gardan mein bhi hai dur ka dora tera. That in my neck also I have that chain which is attached and related to you, Ghaus Azam radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah. And then he says, is nishani ke jo sag hai nahi mare jate. That the ones who have this thing around their neck, these dogs who have this nishani and this sign and this chain around their necks which are related to you, Ghaus Azam, then you must know those dogs, hashr tak mere gale mein rahe patta tera, that these dogs, nothing happened to them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep this chain around my neck until the day of Qiyamah. Subhanallah. Then very beautifully, and he says, Bad sahi, chor sahi, mujrimo nakara sahi. Bad sahi, chor sahi, mujrimo nakara sahi. Yes, I am a thief, I am a culprit, I am a wrong person, I am a bad person, I am a person who has oppressed myself. Bad sahi, chor sahi, mujrimo nakara sahi. वो कैसा ही सही है तो करीमा तेरा. Allah, Allah. But in the end, Ghaus Azam, I am your servant, and subhanallah, you are going to have mercy, you are going to inshallah intercede on my behalf. Subhanallah. Then he says, Allah, 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 mujhko ruswa bhi agar koi kahega to यूं ही कि वही ना वो रजा बंदा है रुस्वा तेरा. He says, O Ghaus Azam, if somebody says that I am a helpless person or I am disgraced, मुझको रुस्वा भी अगर कोई कहेगा तो यूं ही. How do we normally remember people? We say, oh, so and so person who owns that shop, oh, so and so person who drives that car, so and so person who normally wears that jacket, so and so person who stays in that area. That's how we remember someone. So Allah is saying, मुझको रुस्वा भी अगर कोई कहेगा तो यूं ही. If somebody says that Ahmad Raza is a disgraced person, Ahmad Raza is, a very bad person, Ahmad Raza, he's good for nothing, or Ahmad Raza, he doesn't have anything. मुझको रुस्वा भी अगर कोई कहेगा तो यूं ही कि वही ना वो रजा बंदा है रुस्वा तेरा. That Ahmad Raza, who is a slave of Ghaus Azam, who is a servant of Huzur Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. So Ala Hazrat says, if somebody is insulting me, but in that insult he is saying, I am your slave, at least he is giving this much attachment and relation and connection with you, O Ghaus Azam. He says, that is enough for me, subhanallah. मुझको रुस्वा भी अगर कोई कहेगा तो यूं ही कि वही ना वो रजा बंदा है रुस्वा तेरा. Subhanallah. हम फख्र आका में रजा और भी एक नज़्म रफ़ी चल लिखा लाए सना खानों में चेहरा तेरा. Subhan. This is the beautiful praises of Huzur Sayyidi wa Murshidi Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad Raza Khan for this beautiful and great personality, Huzur Sayyidina wa Maulana Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah, we make dua, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to drown ourselves and engross ourselves in the love, in the ishq, in the muhabbat of this beautiful and great personality, this beautiful beloved friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We were discussing the beautiful saintly miracles of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, and I want to discuss this beautiful incident. This is mentioned in Bahajatul Asrar Sharif, a very authentic book which discusses the beautiful biography of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, the seerat and the lifestyle of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Sayyidina Sheikh Ismail bin Ali rahmatullahi ta'ala has stated, when Sayyidina Sheikh Ali bin Haytami rahmatullahi ta'ala fell ill, so he sometimes would come to my land at Zarira and spend many days there. Says once he fell ill over there, so Ghaus Azam came to look after him. Means Ghaus Azam came to see Sayyidina Sheikh Ali bin Haytami rahmatullahi ta'ala, and Ghaus Azam came from Baghdad Sharif. He says, thus both the pious saints gathered on my land. There were 2 date trees which had been dry for 4 years and did not bear any fruit. He says, we intended to cut them down. Sayyidina Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu performed wuzu under one of them and offered 2 rakat nafil salah under the other tree. Under one tree, Ghaus Azam performed wudu. Under the other tree, he performed 2 rakat nafil. Subhanallah. He says, before my eyes, both trees turned green, their leaves started appearing, and during the same week, they both bore fruit, though it was not the season of bearing dates. Allah, Allah, Allah. He says, I took some dates from my land and presented them to him. He rahmatullahi ta'ala ate some of them and said to me, may Allah Azza wa Jal grant blessings in your land, your dirham, your sa'. Sa' means a specific measure. Your sa' and the milk of your animals. Subhanallah. Sayyidina Sheikh Ismail bin Ali rahmatullahi ta'ala mentioned, he says, my land has started producing crops 2-fold to 4-fold as compared to last year. Now when I spend 1 dirham, I get things 2 to 3-fold. And when I keep 100 bags of wheat in any house and spend 50 bags out of them and see the remaining ones, I find 100 bags over there. Subhanallah. My animals give birth to so many babies that I forget even their count. He says the state still continues by the blessings of Huzur Sayyidina Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah, subhanallah. What a beautiful miracle and karamat of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah, the trees which were dry, they didn't have any fruits, they were about to cut them. Huzur Ghaus Azam, just performed wuzu under one, performed salah under one, and subhanallah, the trees became green, they started bearing the fruits, and then, everything became wonderful, and then so much barakat when he made dua, subhanallah. And undoubtedly when a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes dua, then you must know inshallah that dua is accepted in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why we saw the barakah and the blessings in the beautiful, in the rizq, in the sustenance of this great personality. Subhanallah, subhanallah. This is the miracles and the karamat of the awliya Allah, the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why Buzurgan Deen and the pious predecessors have always informed us that whenever you meet an elderly person, you meet someone who is respected, you meet someone who is firm and has steadfastness on Shariat, on Islam, on teachings of Allah and His beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then what should you do is that you must always ask that person to make dua for you, because by Allah we do not know whose dua is accepted in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when someone's dua is accepted, subhanallah, then inshallah you can be successful in this world and in the hereafter as well. Subhanallah. So all of us must always take duas from our parents, our relatives, our family members. Make dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant everyone's parents healthy, long lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove everyone's difficulties, sickness, calamities. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant everyone's parents healthy, long lives, and make them the coolness of their parents' eyes, and grant their parents a healthy, long life, so that their saya, the beautiful shade and shadow, should be over the children for a very, very long time. And make dua, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take everyone with their parents in the court of the beloved and most noble Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Sallu ala al-Habib. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. So it is our duty that we should take dua from our parents, our murshid, and our pious people. And in fact, you should ask everyone to make dua for you, because by Allah, you do not know who has what status in the court of Allah. There might be someone whom you feel maybe, maybe, this person is a normal person, or maybe he doesn't perform salah, maybe he's like this, but you do not know about the person. You do not know his heart, you do not know his taqwa, you do not know his piety, you do not know his maqam, his status. What if he has a higher rank in the court of Allah compared to you? So you should ask everyone to always make dua for you. Subhanallah. And a very beautiful wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once mentioned, and he said that when I leave my house, from the time I leave my house until I return, the thing I do is every person I pass by, in my heart I think that this person is better than me. No matter who this person is, whatever state that person was in, whenever I pass by any person, the first thing comes to my heart is, this person is better than me. Subhanallah. And the moment a person finishes himself and makes everyone else better than him, then you must know that person goes closer to the exalted court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah, subhanallah. And subhanallah, from this beautiful incident, we also learned that Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who went to do iyadat, means he went to visit, subhanallah, Sheikh Ali bin Haytami rahmatullahi ta'ala when he fell ill. So this is also a beautiful sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When someone falls sick, we should go and visit him, we should go and look at him, we should go and ask about him. Subhanallah, very beautiful. Three beautiful hadiths of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, beautiful sayings of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, regarding the one who goes and visits the sick and go and ask about how the sick person is, which I want to present in front of you. Number one, a hadith which is mentioned in Sahih Muslim, that when a Muslim visits his Muslim brother to inquire after him, he remains in the garden of paradise until he returns. Subhanallah. This is the beautiful words of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another beautiful hadith in Tirmizi Sharif. If the Muslim who visits any Muslim to inquire after his health in the morning, 70,000 angels pray for him till evening, and if he visits in the evening, 70,000 angels pray for him till morning, and for him there will be a garden in paradise. Subhanallah, this is a beautiful summary of the hadith. Likewise, another beautiful hadith in Abu Dawood Sharif, that the one who makes proper wudu and visits his Muslim brother to inquire after him with the intention of receiving reward will be kept away from hell equal to the distance of 70 years. Subhanallah. And commenting on this beautiful hadith, Mufti Ahmad Khan Naimi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi very beautifully mentioned, he says, a sick person should be paid a visit in the state of wudu, because visiting a sick person means worship, and worship is better if performed in wudu. It says further, whilst inquiring after a patient, one has to make dua and make dam, means you need to blow on the sick person after reciting something. So it says, therefore it is better to be in wudu for making dua and for making dam. It says some people sacrifice animals, do fatiha and make sare sawab in the state of wudu, or they rather cook food and eat the food of Gyarvi Sharif in the state of wudu. He says this hadith authenticates the act. Any form of worship, when you do it in a state of wudu, subhanallah, there is more reward in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everyone should make an intention. First of all, we must make an intention of remaining in the state of wudu, for the entire day. For as long as possible, we should, try our level best to be in the state of wudu. And there are lots of benefits, good deeds will be written for you. Inshallah, you will be protected from calamities, you will be protected from evil things and bad things, and lots of benefits of remaining in the state of wudu always. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, salatu wa salaman alayka ya Sayyidi ya Habibi ya Rasulullah, sallallahu ala Muhammad, an-nuri min nurillah. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Very beautiful, because I discussed in between that, whenever we meet someone pious, we should ask them for du'as, we should ask them we should request them for du'as. A beautiful incident mentioned in front of me of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Imam Ahlus Sunnah, Ala Hazrat Al-Shah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatur ridwan. Very beautifully, Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad Raza Khan has stated, during my first journey to Medina Sharif, Madinatul Munawwara, the city of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take us with our parents, with our Murshid Kareem in the court of his beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He says, Ameen. During my first journey to Medina, I was present in the masjid of Mina. whereas all the other people had left. He says, in the interior part of the masjid was a man with his face towards the Qibla, reciting invocations. I was sitting in the courtyard of the masjid near the door. There was no other person. All of a sudden, I heard a buzzing sound like that of a bee. He says, I recalled the following hadith instantly. A sound is produced by the heart of the beloved bondman of Allah Azza wa Jal like the buzzing sound of a bee. He says, thus continuing my invocations, I moved towards him to request him to pray for my forgiveness. Subhanallah. He said, Alhamdulillah, I have never requested any saint to fulfill any worldly need. Instead, I always requested them to pray for my forgiveness. He says, well, I had walked only 2 steps towards him when he said 3 times with his hands raised towards the sky and his face turned towards me, Allahumma ghfir li akhi hadha, Allahumma ghfir li akhi hadha, Allahumma ghfir li akhi hadha. Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, forgive this brother of mine. Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, forgive this brother of mine. Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, forgive this brother of mine. I understood what he meant, that he did what I wanted and now he did not want to be interrupted. Hence, I returned. Subhanallah. This is the beautiful, awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is their maqam, their status, their martaba. Subhanallah, that, their ranks are so beautiful that they even know what a person is thinking. They even know what are the thoughts and the desires in a person's heart. And as mu'mineen, as Muslimin, we should always think good about other Muslims. We should always, make sure that we are touched with pious people and blessed people. Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Inshallah, we'll take a short break now. Listen to some few beautiful pearls, beautiful Madani flowers. And inshallah, as soon as we return from this beautiful break, we will carry on our beautiful discussion regarding the saintly miracles of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
Imam Abu Muhammad Khashab Nahwi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he says that I used to hear about the lectures of Ghaus Azam Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu anhu from others. I was very busy with my own studies and in my own engagements, and I couldn't attend myself. I didn't have time. Yet eventually I made a firm intention that I am going to go to the gathering of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu anhu to listen to the lectures myself. So I went, I listened to the lecture, and it didn't inspire me much. Meaning I didn't even understand it that much. And in my heart, I began to think, I wasted my time. When this happened, straight away, Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi turned towards me and he said, woe to you. You give superiority to Nahv, Arabic grammar, syntax, over this majlis of dhikr, this gathering of dhikr, and you rather be studying Nahv. Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi instructs him that attend our gatherings, adopt these kind of gatherings, and I will make you like Sibawayh. Sibawayh is a renowned grammarian. People know about Sibawayh. And subhanallah, what happened? Sayyiduna Abdullah Khashab Nahwi rahmatullahi alayhi began staying with Ghaus Azam Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala, and what was the outcome? He became one of the greatest imams of Nahw in his time. Subhanallah, we learn that sitting with the awliya, attending their gatherings, only brings benefit. And we should not give tarjih to other things over sitting with the righteous and the pious. May Allah Ta'ala grant us such opportunities where we're able to sit with the righteous, the saints of Allah, pious personalities. Ameen.
Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Salatu wa salaman alayka ya Sayyidi ya Habibi ya Rasulullah, sallallahu ala Muhammad, nurin min nurillah. MashaAllah, marhaba, welcome back to our beautiful episode, our beautiful silsila. Very beautiful narration is mentioned in front of me, and we are discussing the saintly miracles of Huzur Sayyidina Ghaus Azam. Abul Malik Zayyal rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi has said, one night I was standing in the madrasa of Sayyidina Ghaus Pak radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So Ghaus Pak came out with a staff in his blessed hand. A thought crossed my mind, would that Ghaus Pak show a saintly miracle through the staff? As the thought entered my mind, he fixed the staff into the ground. Suddenly the staff became bright and remained bright like a lamp for a long time. Says then he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh took the staff out of the ground and he turned to its previous state. Afterwards he rahmatullahi ta'ala said, "Oh Zayyal, this is what you wanted." Allah, Allah, Allah. Dear Islamic brothers, see how beautiful this is. Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, this is the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we learned when Sayyidi Ala Hazrat went to ask, request for du'as from that pious saint, the pious saint raised his hands automatically and said, "Allahumma ghfir li akhi hadha." Ya Allah, forgive this brother of mine. He knew what was in the heart of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat. So look at the shan of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, that he knew what was in the heart of Sayyidina Abul Malik Zayyal rahmatullahi ta'ala, and he said, "This is what you wanted? You wanted me to show a miracle? There I showed you a miracle." Allah, 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 Allah. Subhanallah. And indeed, the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have the ability, they have ilmul ghaib, they have the knowledge of the unseen, because undoubtedly they have received this knowledge through the blessed court of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhanallah. Was very beautifully Ghaus Azam mentions in Qasida Ghausiyya himself, and he says, "Nazartu ila biladillahi jam'an ka khardalatin ala hukm ittisali." I have seen all the cities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like few mustard seeds joined together. Subhanallah. And famous Muhaddis Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehlvi rahmatullahi ta'ala states that Ghaus Pak said, "If Sharia had not restricted me, I would have told you what you have eaten and kept at home. I know your inner and outer self because you are like a transparent glass in my eyes." Subhanallah. This is the maqam and the shine and the status of the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this very beautifully someone in ulama ikram always advise us that in the company of an alim, of a scholar, of a mufti, always control your tongue, otherwise you'll say something wrong and they will reprimand you, they will catch you. In the company of a wali of Allah, always control your heart, because his nazar, his sight is in your heart, at your heart, and he knows what you are thinking. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Make dua, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us in the company of the awliya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us amongst those that love the awliya, the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us, his beloved awliya. We are nothing. By Allah, we are nothing. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses us, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, then He can do whatever He wants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does whatever He wants, whatever He pleases. Subhanallah, nobody has any right to question the beautiful zat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the beautiful matters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we make dua, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us firm on this beautiful nur hidayat, this beautiful light of guidance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep everyone in the love of the beloved Nabi, the love of the Ahl Bayt, the Sahaba Ikram, and all the awliya Ikram, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in. With these few words, we have come towards the conclusion of today's episode in Silsila. Let us share the answer for today's question for our viewers and listeners. The question was, which is the longest surah in the Holy Quran? Subhanallah, subhanallah. For those that know the answer, mashallah, Mubarak to you. For those that don't know the answer is coming on the screen now. Yes, the longest surah in the Holy Quran is Surah Baqarah. Subhanallah. The first surah basically after Surah Fatiha, in the first para, and it is approximately 2.5 paras. That's how long this beautiful surah is, and lots of nasihat, lots of advice, lots of lessons, lots of ahkam, rules, laws, haram, halal are mentioned in this beautiful surah of the Holy Quran known as Surah Baqarah. And Baqarah means a cow. So the surah is, basically called the cow because the incident of the cow is also mentioned in this beautiful surah. Subhanallah. And that is regarding Bani Israel, the people of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. And this beautiful incident of the holy of this cow. For those that want to know, quickly read a tafsir and beautiful explanation of the Holy Quran. We have Siratul Jinan tafsir, which is present in the Urdu language, written by our beloved Mufti Qasim Attari. And likewise, some beautiful tafasir are present around the globe by Sunni Sahih al-Aqidah ulama ikram. All of you should try and read the tafsir of the Holy Quran, and you should try and gain some understanding regarding the Holy Quran, as we discussed in the beginning of this episode. With these few words, we have come towards the conclusion of today's silsila. We make dua. Remember, instill the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your hearts, in your mind. This love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the base of your iman, the base of everything. You have this love, by Allah you have everything. You lose this love, by Allah you lose everything. We hope to see you soon, inshallah. Be positive, think positive, stay positive, remain positive. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us the opportunity of visiting the beautiful cities of Makkatul Mukarramah and Madinatul Munawwara with our parents, our Murshid Kareem. Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep everyone ever fresh, ever green, always happy, always smiling, and grant everyone abundance of barakah. We hope to see you soon, inshallah. Till then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
The light of guidance, 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 the light of guidance.